Good morning everyone, I'm Francesco Martinetti and I'm truly pleased to share with you this interesting and complex case of permanent molars that have significantly tilted forward, are completely blocked by the presence of the other adjacent molars, and are consequently unable to properly erupt into their correct positions. I will explain the clinical case of Arianna, who came to our attention at the clinic at around 11 years old due to a problem with smile asymmetry. That is, when she smiled, her teeth, especially those on the upper left, were all higher than those on the right. It is important to clearly, as always, we began with a case study, collecting all the necessary data to observe and understand in detail how her face was developing, particularly the lower third of her face and her mouth. We noticed that her upper incisors were also tilted further back, so they needed to be more aligned and positioned slightly more forward. In terms of occlusion, looking at the photos of the mouth and teeth, we can see that the upper canine is stuck up here and completely on the outside because there wasn't enough space for it to come out and settle into the correct position. You can also see that the upper incisors are shifted more to the left compared to the lower ones. There is also a deep bite, meaning the lower teeth are much more hidden compared to the upper one. Furthermore, why didn't the canine find enough space? Because the canine is one of the last permanent teeth to come in, and the teeth behind it took up its space. You can see how the back teeth have slid forward, and even the incisors have shifted slightly to the left, closing off some of the space. So there isn't enough space for this tooth to come out. We need to create this space ourselves. On the other side, we also have a less than ideal bite, so the teeth could fit together better on the right side as well, and we have this asymmetry in the palate, meaning the teeth on the left side are further forward compared to those on the right, so there's this unevenness. Our goal is to make the palate symmetrical, to make it uniform, and you can also see the palate in relation to the nose and the face. The bone, which is the pink part, is symmetrical. It's the teeth inside the palate that are misaligned, so we can move them very effectively with orthodontic appliances. On the lower level, however, the main problem, let's focus, is back here. You can see a little white tip here at the back and another little white tip here at the back. So it's these teeth here that have all tilted forward. They can no longer move into position because the molar, the second molar, not the wisdom tooth, what is it for? It's meant to give us proper chewing and correct occlusion. The other risk, as you can see from the panoramic x-ray, is that this one is vertical, but it should be up higher. The risk is that over time it will push and even start to wear down the tooth in front of it. Same thing on this side, this one is less straight, a bit more slanted, but the risk, as you can see, is that they're already starting to press against the teeth in front. Here instead, those little circles at the back are the germs of the wisdom teeth that are just starting to form. From the lateral x-ray, we can see that his mouth is growing with the lower jaw and the lower teeth set further back compared to the upper ones. So we measure all the angles and millimeters to plan and program the movements needed to shift them into the correct position. This is the digital planning of the case. So in this case, you can see how the movements of the teeth are programmed. The back teeth are moved back into their proper position so that the canine has enough space to come down. The red ones represent the white attachments that I will place on the teeth. They appear red only in the software, so I can clearly see their positions. Those little blue circles indicate where I will attach buttons to place elastics, which are easy to put on and take off to help move the teeth properly. So for the upper arch, we'll use transparent aligners. For the lower arch, instead, we've placed a fixed appliance that goes on the inside with small wires on the outside that push the teeth back or upwards to straighten them and help them come out. So fixed appliance on the bottom, transparent aligners on top. You see this little clip here at the back, at the top, how it pushes the tooth and moves it further back. These treatments are much longer. So we're no longer talking about a year and a half or two, but treatments that last from 2.5 to 3.5 years. So why is that? Because the amount of tooth movement required is much greater. In the meantime, you can see how the upper teeth are being aligned. These are the transparent beads glued onto the teeth, which are removed at the end of the treatment. And these are the planned subsequent aligners that are produced to give the arch the correct shape in the following months. You can see how the molars are erupting more and more, they're gradually coming out further, and we're improving the position and the bite of the tooth. These are the appliances that are creating the movement of the lower teeth both on the right and also on the left. At the palate level, you can see how we've achieved good symmetry of the palatenotis, how it's symmetrical and well positioned. After 2.5 years, the smile is becoming more symmetrical. There's just the canine that's still a bit high, so we add a few more aligners, both for the upper and lower arches, to make them fit together correctly. You can see how the front incisors have already aligned, and the way the teeth fit together is improving. We just need to position this premolar a bit better, so we'll adjust it properly on this side. Meanwhile, you can see on the left how the bite has improved and how the back teeth have appeared. On the upper level, we have good symmetry of the palate, while on the lower level, these teeth here have come out. We just need to resolve the crowding of the teeth. On the lower level, we resolve the crowding through stripping, so we'll use a file on the posterior and lower teeth to create space and allow them, as you can see, to fit together properly and achieve the correct closure. After 3.5 years of treatment, you can see how we've achieved the correct bite between the teeth, a beautiful smile, and the right position of the teeth both with the lips closed and with the lips open. This is the correct closure. The deep bite has been resolved. We have a good closure of the teeth on the right and a good closure of the teeth on the left. You can see how the palate has become nicely symmetrical and how straight the lower teeth are. So these are all the final photos. This is the before and after. Correction of the palate, how we corrected the symmetry, so you can see how beautifully symmetrical it is. On the left arch, we have a good closure of the left teeth with the canine in the correct position. And from the panoramic view, you can see how the teeth have straightened and the wisdom teeth are forming, so from this to this, with the tooth in position. And we also resolved the lower dental crowding. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us or write them below in the comments. I'll say goodbye and wish you a good day. Thank you.